What's going on, my Weiss Schwarz Meisters? This is Dean here today with Burn 1, and I'm going to be trying to churn out content after content. So, as you guys know, I recently got into the Million Live 2 set, which I love to play because it's got a lot of stuff going in for both 765 and the old set, and there's a lot of different top ends and stuff to brew with. So I'll be giving you guys my decks, and like kind of what I think needs to be changed with them as I go, as I like test them. As long as they're, you know, semi-functional, which I believe this deck is actually extremely good. I think this is like probably nearly the best thing you can do with the OG 765 is like this climax spread. Maybe not specifically this. And I'll go over that, right? So first let's go into the deck and then I'll talk about it for a second. So first we got 4 of the Yukio. This is a spammable top check 3 Brainstorm. And it has climax combo with this gate, top check if it's a music character add. So of course it's like literally everything except for this event that we play. What I do like about this is this gives you a plussing combo that also facilitates your good triggers, right? Like so if you dig and you hit music characters, you're more likely to trigger climaxes or gates. So this can turn into a double to triple plus, and then it provides deck speed for the standby, allowing you to ditch like your standby targets and not be stuck in bad deck states. And it's a single card that's going to give you multiple mills, unlike Azusa, which would eat up a deck slot. It was a board slot, sorry, not a deck slot, but like a board slot, right? Like this thing is one board slot for as many mills as you need, while this might have to be played over, or you might have to sacrifice multiple lanes in order to play this down for more mill. Okay, so now we have the Takane Center Runner. What's good about this? I mean, it's a plussing 0, it moves to the middle, it's 3-5, right? But what's more important is that it gives you a top check, a dig, and a, like, so like if you have like a Miki on board, you play this down, you see a 0, you can marker the 0, fish for a better trigger. Like let's say you're trying to hit this so you can mill some of your deck, or you're trying to, you're about to play a gate and you want to make sure this isn't on top, you can play this down, top check if it's a character, you can choose to add it with this by playing the climax, or if you need to hit the brainstorm, you just marker. All around, a lot of utility in this card, so this is why I think you're going to be needing to play 4 of this over the other plussing 0s. 3 JCs, I don't think this one's entirely needed, but sometimes it's 0. It's okay because you've got like 7 cards that you don't really want to lose, but you might want to chump with. So the JC will help you chump with those and then potentially retain them for the following turns. 2 Azusas, I think this card is cuttable. I think this card doesn't do a whole lot for your deck. Oh, I forgot about this card. This card is on play, top check, leave on top or move to bottom. And then you bounce it back when you play the standby, specifically this one, to give Twin Drive, free Twin Drive to a card, just like it's Stock Charge 1. What I do like about this is if you slam down double, you give 2 lanes Twin Drive, you check a lot of cards, you get a lot of stock. The problem with this is that your level 3 that goes on the same climax as this requires a full board condition. So usually you can't be cheeky and use 2 of these to facilitate double this if you don't have the stock overhead. You have to be a little bit wary of that, but going into like level 0 and 1, or going into level 1, it's very viable to slam down 2 of these, bounce them both back, and just go from there. And once again, also, like I said, I think this card is very cuttable. The fact that this provides you better mill, more control of the mill, versus this thing just kind of like eating up a slot on your board that like you've got other cards you kind of want to play. This is like only really the best option is specifically at 0 and kind of almost at no other point. I don't know. It's green, and I just really haven't dug into the 0s to see what to replace this with. I know there's a Bonder to this event and Iwori and the power-up set. I do not own it though. I did not own it. So definitely would probably try cutting that for this, so that way you can facilitate this event package easier. 1 of Coin Flip just because I pulled the SP and I cut the level assist. I found the level assist was not worth it. And I just wanted to shove a random card in. This card is extremely cuttable. It's not important at all. You can replace it with literally anything almost. 4 Makoto 1-0s. This thing is a 6K as long as you have 2 other characters. And it lets you choose your trigger looking at top 2. So it's a 1-card mill. Additional mill if you need to. It fishes for the standby trigger so you can get out a 2-2, or for a clean trigger if you really need to. Like, let's say you've got like utility here. It checks a lot of cards. Very versatile, very good card, and the fact that it's 6k cross turn means that it can defend at 8/5 with the counter. So that's kind of relevant as well. Yukio, this card is amazing. This is one of the best cards I've ever seen and ever played with, especially since we have double level 0 combo. It's come and play, ditch a card, not character but card. Summon a level 0 onto your board anywhere. So you're able to summon the spammable Brainstorm, you're able to summon the Bounce Back if you need to. You can summon a JC if you want to. These cards have come and play effects, these two. So these are not like good targets, but these other cards all provide utility, and she just allows you to turn any one of these bricks, including multiple climaxes, into playables. The best thing about her, though, is she is 2k on turn, and when she fights level 2s, specifically, she gets an additional 6k power. So she's 12k against level 2s, allowing you to compete with standby boards. Costless competition into standby boards is also filter, and against, level 1 combos. She's still 6k, so she's still able to clear. Extremely good card. One of the best cards I've ever played with. Love to see this in the set. And then we play 4 1/1 memory counters. They go to memory and they give 2/5. You can hard play them as long as you have green, and you can, of course, only counter with them as long as you have green. So you'll usually be trying to level green at 0 and then clocking red for turn. But this, as long as you have 2 of these in memory, you are able to early play this card, and it just kind of like makes this like somewhat threatening, and hopefully you keep this Hibiki alive. Speaking of this is the Hibiki. This is one of the worst cards in the set. It's a 2/2 6k, and it gets 2k times front row, so it sits at 10k if you have 2 other characters in the front row, but like, you can't really guarantee that. This thing's 6k, this thing is 6k, right? Like, you need... you might have like a random utility card, you might be trying to use this, and then like this card just is not big enough. But it has hand encore, so in my mind, this is just a 2 soul beater. You can hand encore and try to keep up high tempo. Then we have, of course, at level 3, we're playing 4 of the top check burn Miki, facilitated with this and this. We're able to try to guarantee a large number of high damage burns, especially given the number of level 3s we play. We play 10 level 3s and 3 level 2s, so we have 13 hits, and we have a lot of dig for those hits. So this is just extremely good, and the fact that it has hand encore means you kind of just like throw one down as long as it can win the lane or like facilitate a lane for it to like attack into. You can hand encore and get 2 turns with it. And then in the mid game or like late game, you're just kind of putting one, like standby one to the back row, shoving it up, crashing it. It's kind of like how it ends up going. But very, very versatile card. You don't really try to defend it, you just kind of hand encore it, which is why we like playing this gate combo. 3 early play heals. This is sadly, I think, like one of the best early play heals in the set. It's the only one that doesn't have like an actually just terrible condition. There's like an 11.5, there's like 11k healer, I think, in the set, but like you have to clock a specific card, so it's basically a draw 2k1. And you have to like play some really garbage level 0 to facilitate it, and this is the only one that can kind of like tie into the standby game plan with this counter, and then also provide us a little bit of heal. Ultimately, do you really need this? I don't think so, but a healer's nice, so I kind of put a couple in. If you really want to, you could probably cut this package, but then I think you lose a little bit of stability, and you lose a little bit of the board control where, 8/5 can randomly hurt your opponent, or like, 12/5 is hard for them to get over. But yeah, this is like kind of the only healer in the set that can come out early, so that's why it's in here. It's more of that than anything. And then this is the 3/2 standby combo. It has like damage scry, and it sits at 10k. It's like pathetic on defense and offense, and it has pay to burn 3 as long as you have a full board. That's more of like the thing, is it's just like a guaranteed Miki burn and like a decent way to close out the game on a standby that you're already playing because of this. It also has like hand encore, I think, but that doesn't really come up. Like most of the time, you would rather be playing down this, using these to get the burns in the mid game, and then bring this out on your finisher turn to get a little bit extra reach at the cost of some stock. And then for the climax spread, I'm just trying 4-3-1, just like a blank standby, to try to facilitate this and this, and using these, of course, to dig for it. And then, of course, I just use the top check 3 to hopefully find this. After playing it, I'm not sure the standby really matters so much. Like, you really only want, like, one standby a turn. Like, you want, like, one standby at level 1 to bring this out, and then you want, like, one standby at level 2 to bring this out. If you hit 2, it's nice, but this gate is a lot more important than this standby. And, like, if you trigger the gate, right, you can just grab a Yukio, so you might want to play 4-4 and just, like, not be cheeky with that one extra. But, yeah, that's it for 765. I think this is legitimately as close to... This is... I don't know if it's, like, the best list right off, but this is the one that cares the least about what your opponent does, right? Like, you could shove 1-2s in and try to play a more board-focused game plan, but then when your opponent answers those cards, your deck is filled with bricks, and the deck would collapse. If you go in and you play the choice with the Yayoi, I think it's like the restand is going to be as good as this or this, but it's going to be one turn at the cost of like having a weaker level 2 game. So I think this is probably close to what you want to be playing. Of course, making the changes here, and like potentially here, but I think that if you tried this, you'd find out that this is not actually that bad. But yeah, I hope to release more of these going forward, and let me know what you guys think. And until next time, this is Dean signing out.